This is video number 1. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Alexis McCray, and this is video number 1. Video number 1. Before we get started, I just kind of want to do a disclaimer and say that anything that is discussed in this video is my opinion alone and not the opinion of any institution or anything like that. It's just my opinion or an opinion that I got from a classmate or someone that I spoke with directly, whatever. I'm not saying that what I'm about to talk about is law. It's just my opinion. Just putting that out there. Everything that I say is just a personal opinion. So with that being said, let's jump right in to 5 things that you should expect in PT school. So the first thing that you should expect in PT school is expect for things to be challenging, okay? So you are going to be getting a doctorate of physical therapy. It is doctorate level work. It's a clinical doctorate. It's not like an MD or anything, but it is a doctorate degree, and so it is gonna be challenging. You need to know that and expect that. That needs to be clear. What a physical therapist is essentially is a movement expert. In order to be an expert, you have to know about the body, how it moves when things are going normal, and how it moves when something goes wrong. So you're gonna take classes like anatomy, neuro, cardiopulmonary, basic skills, everything. You're gonna learn everything that there is to learn about being a PT. And then after you learn all that information, you're gonna be tested on your memory of that information, which is a challenge. And so I don't want anyone going into PT school thinking that it's gonna be easy. It's not. Nothing about the coursework is easy. It is a rigorous program. You are in school constantly, and yeah, that just is what it is. So first thing we should expect in PT school is for things to be challenging. Number 2. Expect for it to be time consuming. Okay, yeah, PT school is time consuming, y'all. It is a 3-year program. You're in school year round. So basically you're taking the length of an undergrad degree and like condensing it into 3 years of school. You're gonna have either 10-week semesters or 16-week semesters. If you're in a 10-week semester, you're gonna be in class more often. So your 16-week semesters is gonna feel a little bit more representative of like your undergrad semesters, of course. You'll have breaks. Things are gonna move a little bit at a slower pace, but when you go to your 10-week semesters, it's gonna be fast. Information's coming at you fast, and it's the same amount of information. It's just in a smaller amount of time. So you could be, there were some semesters we were in class from 8 to 8. Or 8 to 7, and it's kind of expected that when you go to PT school that you're sacrificing and investing in your education. And so that is the expectation. When you're on your clinical rotations, you're gonna be working someone else's schedule or working with another clinician on their patients, and then come home, and depending on what year you're in, you might be studying when you get home. So PT school is time consuming. I personally did not work through PT school until my 3rd year. I got a PRN job where I worked 1 or 2 weekends at a rehab facility, but PT school isn't really designed right now for people to work like full-time jobs or anything like that. It's not like a master's program or anything like that where it's set up for you to work and go to school. It's really just school. And any free time that you have, for me personally, it was spent studying. At least for the first year and a half. Any free time I had on the weekends, I was studying. So yeah, that's just that. Make sure you have the time, because it's time consuming and there's not really a whole bunch of flexibility on the schedule once you start these kinds of programs. Number 3. Okay, number 3, expect to learn more than you ever thought possible. You are going to learn everything there is to know about the body and how it moves. And you're gonna learn how to treat patients, you're gonna learn how to assess patients, you're gonna learn about medications, you're gonna learn about so many things. And I know for me personally, I had a lot of self-doubt and a lot of insecurity about my ability to retain information. And so one of the things that you'll come to realize with time as you learn how to learn is that your brain is capable of retaining so much more information than you think it is. there are so many times on tests where there was something that I forgot to look over and I started to panic because I'm like, I didn't look over this. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna remember it? And then I see a word and boom, it reminds me of something that was written on the slide. And it's still in your brain. You know more than you think you know. And so be ready to learn, be an open book, like allow as much information to come in as possible, because between your clinical experiences, learning how to interact with your classmates and your professors, and the actual content in preparation for the NPTE so that you can get your license, you're gonna learn a lot. And just know that if you made it thus far, you are capable of learning all of that information, and you know way more than you think you do. So be prepared to learn more than you ever thought you could possibly learn. Number 4. So the 4th thing that you should expect in PT school is to gain a brand new family. Okay, so my class was 28 students to start. You are about to spend the next 3 years with these people. You have no choice but to be some level of close. Like, you're gonna go through the ringer. They're gonna be the only people that really know and understand exactly what you're going through when you're going through it. These are gonna be your friends, your motivators, your accountability partners, your workout buddy, your study buddy, your confidant, everything. Your classmates are going to become everything for you during this time. And so be prepared to have a new family. That means that sometimes y'all are gonna love each other, and sometimes y'all are gonna hate each other, and that just is what it is. Anytime you're spending that much time with someone, be prepared for there to be strong opinions that don't always agree. And so you don't always get to choose your family, but there's so much beauty in developing these relationships with all of these different kinds of people. And I know my classmates helped me through some of the hardest times in my life personally, and I don't know if I would have made it through PT school without the support of my classmates and the love of my classmates and the resources that were my classmates. And so they become your family. You're spending every day with these people in class. You're going home and you're studying with these people. Like, this is your new family. You may not always like your family, but at the end of the day, that's your family. You don't get to pick them, but you do have to work with them. And so it's just easier if you remain open-minded and you continue to love and show kindness to your family, because they are going to be what helps pull you through the program in your times of need. Last but not least, number 5. The magical number 5. If you know me, you know that my number is 5. So, number 5. Expect to go on the most unique journey of your life. You all, PT school was a beautiful journey, and I have so much respect for the process and the growth that is associated with going through this PT program, because wow, I look back on the person that I was 3 years ago and they're not the same person. So you start out this program in your first year, you're taking your basic science courses, you know nothing. You don't know anything. You are struggling over how to use a goniometer. And for those of you in the program, you know exactly what that is. For anyone that's not in the program yet, a goniometer is just it's a tool used to measure joint angles. Yeah, it's pretty basic. You learn it in basic skills, but at the time when you're in basic skills, that is the hardest thing in the world. It's the hardest thing in the world to remember these parameters. And then by your 3rd year, you're looking at a goniometer and you're so proficient, you're so efficient using it, because you're not the same person that you were when you learned how to use it. And so the beauty of the PT program is you start out, you don't know anything. You're an open book that is waiting for someone to write the information in it, and there's beauty in that. There's so much beauty in that. And then you start the program. You go through your first year, you're taking just your basic level science courses for your 1st and 2nd semester. You get to your 3rd semester. Now you start musculoskeletal classes. Now you start to learn a little bit more about the evaluation process, the assessment process. How are you gonna treat? What exercises are you gonna give them? You start to get into more PT related things. You start learning what questions to ask, how to assess for different things, what to look for in an evaluation. And then you start your 2nd year. In your 2nd year, this is when you're gonna start going on your clinical rotations. So that's a completely different experience than being in the classroom. Once you start your clinical rotations, you get to be a PT underneath the supervision of another PT, of course. But you get to be a PT, you get to go out into the clinic, into the hospital, into whatever facility, and practice these techniques that you've been learning in the classroom and doing on your classmates. You get to learn how to interact with other nurses, people that have real jobs, as opposed to just your classmates that are doing the same thing that you do every single day. Also in your second year, you get exposed to neuro and movement disorders. You're gonna start taking your higher level courses where now you're taking the things you learned during your first year and you're applying it to what it looks like in actual people. It's not just the science, it's the application of what that looks like and what to do with that information with a real person. And so your classes are going to start to get more difficult. You're going to take your first, if you go, WSSU has a comprehensive exam. We have 2 comprehensive exams, one after your first clinical, one after your last semester of coursework before you finish your last 2 rotations. In your second year, you're going to take your first comprehensive exam where you're tested on everything that you've learned to that point. And so these are all different things that just establish competencies in what you're doing and what you're learning. And as you go through this on your first clinical, you're gonna look so different than you're gonna look on your last clinical. The expectations are so different. And so because PT school is such a unique journey, utilize every single experience as something that is there to help you grow. That is the whole purpose of the process, is to help you grow and to help facilitate growth. And so continue to grow and know that you don't know everything. Even by the time that you're done on your last clinical, when you're treating a full caseload, you still don't know everything. You still don't know anything, really, until you get out into the real world and you start treating patients as a PT. And so the person that I was fumbling over goniometry and trying to measure angles and struggling to even ask the right questions is completely different than the person that I am now, where I feel comfortable having a conversation. There are still things that I don't feel super confident about, but it is not the same as the lack of confidence that I had during my first semester. And so everything is going to build and grow as far as the information that you learn. Everything is going to build and grow as far as your skills and your techniques that you learn. And you're going to experience so much personal growth, and there's so much beauty in that process. So be ready to go on a journey of your life and be ready to look very different than the person that you were when you started the program, because you won't be the same at all. So just to recap, 5 things to expect when you go to PT school. 1, it is hard, it's challenging. 2, expect for it to be time consuming. 3, expect to learn more than you ever thought possible. 4, expect to gain a brand new family. And 5, expect to go on a journey of a lifetime and to be a different person than you were at the start. Of course, there are so many other things to expect in PT school. These are just 5 of the big things that I thought were worth mentioning. If you have additional things that you believe people should expect in PT school, drop them down in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful for someone, and if you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask them in the comments, reach out to me, ask me questions. There are more videos to come with more helpful information, and I'm excited to continue this journey with you all. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with anyone that you think might find it beneficial. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.